Yeah. As I got another rhyme, another rhythm for y'all to listen. I'm never quitting on my mission. I'ma roll with what I'm giving. Got some ambition, this new edition, filling positions. Looking at the void in myself and feeling what's missing. Better watch the way you going, better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain. Keep on working, open curtains, haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up. Fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Cause this is my road.
You're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Reeves, Sr. Facebook, I'm Sean On Deck Reeves, and welcome to the Tom Ficklin Morning Show. I'll be your host this morning as Tom continues to recover from his surgery. Today, we're talking about stopping the violence, starting the love. This week, guests are going to include Diari Alec, Doc Kennedy, and myself, Sean Reeves Sr. So a little bit about the Stop the Love, Stop the Violence, Start the Love basketball tournament. In 2011, Diari Alec's older brother, or is he your older brother or younger brother, Diari? You got to unmute your mic. But anyway, Diari's brother had gotten killed due to gun violence. My son gets killed due to gun violence, and then Doc's brother gets killed due to gun violence, all in a 3-month span. So, we're going to talk about that. But I'll let Diari go. We'll all introduce ourselves, give us a little background history about what you're doing here, and then we'll all expound on why we decided to join forces in this 10-year anniversary. Go ahead, Diari. Still can't hear you. So let me, we'll start with Doc, and then we'll come back to Diari. But feel free to tap in when you can so we can know that we can hear you. Go ahead, Doc.
My name is Doc Kennedy, associate head coach at Lee Academy Prep, director of operations for New Haven Heat basketball family, part of the T.J. Mathis Foundation. My brother got killed September 3rd, 2011. And we had a tournament the first 5 years under his name, T.J. Buckets. Then Big Sean, Diari, they called me about doing a collab, and it is crazy because I'm connected to all 3 people other than my brother. Diari used to be my camp counselor growing up. Big Sean always around because Little Sean was on my AAU team and stuff like that. So it all was connected, we all got the same goal. So I was definitely ready to be a part of what we was doing. With the T.J. Mathis Foundation, the goal is, especially after this year and the years up, we're going to have a scholarship for kids that also parent in gun violence, to help them go to college and stuff like that. And that's where we based on with the T.J. Mathis Foundation.
Diari, see if you could tap back in. You got to unmute yourself, though. I'm not sure. Still can't hear you. Log out and log back in real quick, and we're going to give it a shot. We'll be waiting for you. So my name is Sean Reeves Sr. My son, Sean Reeves Jr., was killed August 11th, 2011, due to gun violence. Like Doc said, Sean was one of his team members on the AAU basketball team for many years. As far as Diari goes, I know Diari now through this Stop the Violence basketball tournament that he's been having every year. His brother Donnell, I knew him from being around the community and things like that for a long time. The funny thing about Doc and TJ, between Doc being Sean's teammate, the summer TJ was training Doc, my son Sean. So, they would spend mornings training and exercising him and my cousin Byron. So, when all of these things happened, it was just like unbelievable. for me, because it seemed like there were more basketball kids getting killed at that particular time than anything. I'm not sure if it was just a coincidence or whatever, but for the last 9 years and some change, I haven't really done anything in the efforts to raise awareness as far as stop the violence in my son's name for a basketball tournament, and everybody's been asking. I haven't had the energy then, and I had the energy this year. So, my goal coming out the gate was to really get in touch with as many of these gentlemen as possible to collaborate for a Stop the Violence campaign. It would just only seem fitting, right? So I didn't want to try and reinvent a wheel that was already rocking. Doc already had told me that he had a tournament up and running in Hamden. I explained to him what we wanted to do, reached out to Diari, and he was willing to shut his tournament down and join forces with us, so it all made sense. Again, we were all promoting the same message. We all have the same connections, and we're all tied into this community in ways a lot of people might not even really understand. So this week, we have a big Stop the Violence campaign going on and a fundraiser. I'll talk about the fundraiser. We'll let Doc talk about the basketball event a little bit, and hopefully Diari will be back in to attest to everything as well. So the fundraiser will be Thursday at Terminal 110. We'll be giving out a bunch of awards to Barbara Fair, Heber Bolden Smith, Robin Porter, Lamb Brothers, Edward Trimble, and a few others, all in recognition of the great community service work they do in front and behind the scenes. Those funds that are collected and raised will go towards the tournament on Saturday, and as well as the scholarships that Diari gives away. A portion will go towards the Sean Jermaine Reeves Jr. Foundation, and a portion will go to creating the TJ Mathis Foundation, as Doc stated, his mission is. And then leading into Saturday. So Saturday morning, we have a great day of playing. Doc, you can go ahead and expound on that a little bit.
Okay, Saturday is going to be the 10-year anniversary of, Diari been having tournaments for the whole 10 years. And we're going to keep the movement with the Stop the Violence, Start the Love. The first games, we'll have the middle school kids play against each other. We're going to have a Connecticut All-Star team versus a New York All-Star team. Same thing with the high school kids, Connecticut versus New York. We have another one for the college kids, Connecticut versus New York. Then we go to the adult league, adult tournament, 8 teams. Got teams coming from Rhode Island, New London, trying to get a team from Massachusetts. So we got teams from New York. So we got people coming from all over. For the adults, it's a cash prize, $2,000, I believe. We also gonna have live music. We're gonna have the mood bounce for the kids, face painting, arts and crafts. And we're gonna have the dance team, local dance and drill teams come perform too. So it's gonna be a event. Other than basketball, it's gonna be a family event, for the community. We're gonna have a lot of things going on. Just trying to bring the community together. We're gonna have vendors from all over the city and the state. I'm saying every vendor is donating something. I'm saying we not charging nobody, but they're donating something for the kids and for the community and the foundation. So that's gonna be a big event. Definitely come out. It's gonna be all day. So even if you're busy on part of it, make sure you pull up some point.
Definitely. I see my guy connecting back in. Click yourself off mute. Let's see if we can hear you now, fam.
We good? You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right,
So again, I'd like to introduce my guy, Diari Alec. He started that Stop the Violence, Start the Love basketball tournament 10 years ago. And he's been putting this thing on every single year for the last 9 years, and this is the 10th year anniversary. So I'm gonna let him talk about why he came to bring this tournament on.
How you doing? My name is Diari Alec. 2011, we started the basketball tournament. Well, it was originally started with me and my friends. We was talking about the murders, the homicides, everything that was going on in the city at the time. And a part of our planning process was to do something, bringing people together, having everybody on one event to where, the more the better. We kind of get the max people. But it was like, so unfortunate that talking about that. And then I'm like, yo, I'm not ready to be a brother. And literally the next day, my brother is murdered. My boys called me, yo, bang. See what I'm saying? And then it's crazy to find out that my brother was actually playing at something exactly the same, the same type of event. So we just decided to put it all in contributes to him because he was a basketball player. Gulf Street was his playgrounds. He grew up right across the street. That's where he kind of made his name at. Gulf Street was like a legendary place in our city, period. And then after that, it was just let's just leave what we was doing, which was the streets, and kind of be different role models. And just kind of pushing this message of unity and bringing awareness to violence and just kind of getting our culture off the streets or into something. You know what I mean? And it's just every year we just try to keep doing the same thing, even if it was just bringing in more activities, bringing in more speakers, poets, just kind of trying to make the event bigger than basketball, because it is. Basketball is definitely something we all got in common. So we all can kind of relate to it, whether if we're a fan of it or we're a student or we used to play it. We got some kind of love to it. So I feel like that's the thing to bring people together and then just kind of bring all the other things around it. So I believe it was probably 6 years back, we reached out to this before Doc was kind of handling it. We reached out to TJ Peoples in hopes of this. So that's why when the group message went out and you was like, yo, let's do a 10-year joint. You see me out in the message. I'm like, hell yeah, let's make this happen. I'm ready. Because I didn't want all the pressure on me because I got so many new ventures I'm doing. So I knew us collaborating would be better. And then it just showed the unity and it showed people putting their egos aside to make something better. You know what I mean? And I like that because I come from team environments. It always taught me a lot of things. So
and I think we all have that common mind that it's just big. It was bigger than basketball, right? It's really more about the message that we want to send out about addressing the violence that takes place in our community that's been plaguing us for decades, right? Yeah. It's unfortunate that this is the nucleus that has brung us together in these unfortunate circumstances, but in all aspects of it all, I'm ecstatic that we've joined forces this year, because I know next year we can only get better, right?
I think it's a perfect time in general because this year right now is giving me that 2011 vibe anyway. You feel me? It's something that the community do need. It's just a lot of people that's dying right now, just strange. Before, it's yo, how are they getting killed right now? And we need something, And
it's that same vibe like 2011. You're absolutely right. So, it's a good thing for the community.
Definitely.
So, do you want to talk about your scholarship and what you normally do for the scholarship with Donnell's name?
So what we would normally do, what we've been trying to create, let me not say what we normally do, because normally every event is just everything is given out. So we put everything into all the moon bounces and activities and the food and teams, shirts, so the budget for it has always been kind of high and we always been coming out of pocket to make it happen. But our plans now with the scholarship is to more so help kids get into trade schools. Everyone's not for college. So our goal is to find out what are they good with, because a lot of kids go with hands and they go with mechanics and plumbing and electrician. And honestly, these are all the things that make the world go around. So instead of going to college, hey, I take this 6-month program, take this 8-month year program, and you could be certified to be a plumber. All the businesses we have, which myself, we have one, that could be our plumber. Or he could be going to all these black businesses we I'm guaranteed contracts. So that's just like my goal, just to put it towards trade schools and all that type of stuff.
That's peace. Doc, you want to expound on what you're looking to do?
Yeah, my goal is to get scholarships not only for college or trade for kids that lost a parent from gun violence. We don't think about how much missing that parent financially take a toll on a lot of single parents. It's a big difference. You got a parent that's just not around. But when they pass away, it's hard, Then I just look at my nephew, you know what I'm saying? And I look at his mother. He blessed that he's good at basketball, so he got a couple of D1 offers that he's going to be good. But if he wasn't good at basketball, wasn't good at his grades, we were trying to have to figure out how to get that money up, because my brother died at 25. So I don't think, I'm saying, he left a little bit of money behind, but he wasn't near where he built enough that my nephew don't got to worry about nothing, Right. So that's my main thing, is to find those kids, because every year somebody losing a parent. You know what I'm saying? Every year somebody losing a parent. Every year some of these kids want to go to college, and I don't want to hold them back on nothing they do. If we can help them get to their goal, like I said, either college or trade, I'm with it. And
it's funny, right? Because I'm a top defender, just side note. And TJ probably top five offensive players that gave me problems. So I'm saying, I played him consistently. So it's not like going around the state, you playing Craig Allstreet, Doug Wiggins, and you playing them one time.
Yeah.
I played his Dewey, open gym, Bassett, fucking wide leagues. He was a tough dude, man. On that basketball level, I ain't even gonna hold you, man.
Hey yo,
that was a throw off. I ain't gonna hold you. That threw all of us off, man. Completely. Out of any basketball player, not him.
Right.
And it just so everything's so connected, because my pops used to coach D Nice when he was younger. You know what I'm saying? Him and Bobby was one of his younger teams before he retired. You know what I'm saying? And it just I remember being at Hot Shot. I used to think D Nice was like Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Don't be fooled. At 11:20, we're gonna take a hot second for a station ID break, all right? And then we'll carry forward. But that's what it's all about, man.
Nah, definitely, everybody definitely connected. Even Lil Sean, that's crazy.
This is Harry Droz, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, New Haven.
And then you were saying about my son.
Oh yeah, even him around when that time happened, my peoples was working with him over at Hot Shot at the time. He was trying to reach out to him. My boy Quapo, because he was in the hoops with them. All them was all his little homies. He had full control of them. So I'm saying, he used to say man, I gotta get him. These are slipping, you see what I'm saying? Just dealing with the street kids, and then having his basketball friends, the Bobbies, and he had two different friends. You see what I'm saying? But he kept, and he was mentioning it constantly to me. Then when that happened, he Diesel, look, man, just was telling you about a little homie. See what I'm saying? Because he used to come to Winchester. He used to come through. We used to see him. See what I'm saying? But even that is just so where we at now in our lives, where we know the power of our influence. We know what we can do with our influence. We kind of can see things before it even happen. You see what I'm saying? So to look back on certain situations like your son's situation, being in the loop at the time when it happened, it's weird. Same with TJ. I remember we going to the park the night before the party. And then all of a sudden, I'm letting him beef and Mike know, yo, I'm going to catch y'all later. We're going to go to Coup d'etat, celebrate, bang, bang, bang. Next morning, I hear about TJ. I'm like, nah. I was literally at Edgewood with them that same day, talking about going to the club that night. So even that threw me off, and I stunned it on them. I don't know what I did end up doing that night, but I know I stunned it. The next morning, I hear that news. all the same year. And it's like a lot of people, a lot of my hood friends end up dying that year. That year was like a traumatizing year. And I don't even think a lot of people dealt with the trauma for that year. You see what I'm saying?
I don't believe we've ever recovered from that year. Since, right? That's been like a downhill spiral since then, you know, and this is why all of these things are important, because we're starting to get a little complacent again, even as this year goes on. You know, there hasn't been any stop the violence marches. There hasn't been a lot of protesting when it comes to, you know, the constant murders and shootings that are taking place in our community. And I think that's really affecting our community. So, you know, these things are definitely needed.
I think it's big because people thinking this the norm, and then the other people are just trying to move out of it. Nobody trying to help fix it. Like,
right.
I want to raise my kids out here. Like, I don't care what people say about Connecticut. This is where I'm from. You feel me? Like, New Haven, like, this is my area. So when people like, they talking about moving, like, I don't want to move. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not my goal. Like, I want to build my family here. You know what I'm saying? When I have kids, I want to have my kids raised here. And it's like, we got to get it right, not run from it.
Right. I mean, because again, it's everywhere anyway. So it's affecting us wherever we go, as long as we stay inside of our Black communities, right? So again, the goal is to find ways to address it, to fix it, correct these situations, and maybe, you know, expand those ideas across the country. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of efforts that are dealing with stopping the violence, right? I haven't seen anything that's 100% successful, but the more hands, the merrier, right? The more hands on deck, the lighter the work becomes. The more ideas and the more creative processes we're allowed to start bringing to the table. You know, one thing about Sean's death, it was very impactful to an entire city of children, is what I noticed the most out of this thing, right? You know, I didn't really know the level of influence my son had over his peers. So that was like a real deterrent for me not to be the person that I used to be, right? And create more violence inside the community and problems that we didn't need. After Sean's funeral and really sitting down and talking to a lot of the youth, it was just like, you know, wow. We need some real help here, right? A lot of these guys really want to do better and just don't know how, you know. So it was for me, those were pivotal points to why I made the decisions that I made, right? Another key thing that happened during that time is I watched a bunch of kids turn their lives around when school started. My son was a straight A student. For those that didn't know, you know, he played basketball, but school, he just had a talent for education. You know, it was easy for him. He was a straight A student, stayed on the honor roll. And that year, so many kids made the honor roll those first and second marking periods. It was ridiculous, right? So it's just another testament to me that we have to be pivotal in making a lot of things happen when it's talking about change. You know, and I've just been working towards it. This basketball thing, though, you know, this was like a sore for me, a wound for me for a long time. Ever since my son passed away, I strayed away from basketball games. You know, a lot of different things that reminded me of him, you know, in my efforts to heal. But this year, you know, I was strong enough to really say, you know, we're going to do something. And the only thing I want to do is create the largest impact possible in reference to stopping the violence, because my son meant a great deal to me, to his family members, and to his peers. And I don't think he would want it any other way. Right. So this is why this Stop the Violence movement, this Stop the Violence collaboration, in our continued efforts to increase community awareness in addressing this issue is definitely a necessity, man. And I appreciate you gentlemen taking the time to shut down everything that you were planning on doing initially to get on board with everything, right? Because this was my first year. I had no inclination on how I was going to get it done, you know, so I was really relying on you guys more so than you guys been thinking you relying on me at the end of the day. So, it's a great thing. So again, there's a lot of functions going on in the community this weekend. Diari, I want you to speak about Saturday and some of the vendors that are actually coming, and some of the other activities that we know we're having.
Well, we have a few vendors, I must say. Food vendors, clothing vendors, regular businesses, dance teams, drill teams, podcast shows. So everyone is out there to set up their business and advertise and promote. Which we have art and crafts, we have face painting, moon bounce, cotton candy, snow cone machine, popcorn machine. And we also have a few giveaways that we'll be doing for the kids in the middle of the games.
Right.
So hopefully it'll be a well-rounded thing to where you could bring all families. Gotta have music, DJ, entertainment, speakers, poets, rappers. So just a little bit of everything, to where, we could kind of cover all crowds. I feel like no one should be left home, even if it's just to stop by and show some love, say what's up, just come through. It's for the purpose. And we got a lot of teams, out of town teams, out of state teams, and town teams. And hopefully somebody could leave with a bag.
Right. So now I'm going to go to Doc first with this next question, because I really want people to understand, how TJ's loss affected your life, and the steps and the things that you're doing to overcome those obstacles. Because it's a tough situation. I know it's tough for everybody in these families, man.
Yeah, so it was a little different for me. Like I was talking to Ari, I was 16 when my brother got killed. So, and I shared my room with him damn near my whole life. You know what I'm saying? He just got back from college, graduated, and he ended up moving with Arab. So they was all living together. Like that was the first time he just moved like for a couple months. So it was different. I never really talked to nobody like Lil Sean. Me and Lil Sean, 2 weeks before what happened to Lil Sean, we had AAU practice. We was having this conversation, and I think about it now. It's like we were talking about, we had a feeling like something wasn't right. You feel me? And 2 weeks later, that's when Sean passed away. I talked to my brother. We talked. My brother passed away. And that feeling went away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just messed me up. I didn't want to play basketball no more. Like my junior and senior year, I went all area as a sophomore. Like my basketball career was going up. It took all the love away from me. I stopped caring about a lot of things. And I was depressed. Like I didn't even want to be in school, But one thing that I'm blessed with is my support system. Like I don't take it for granted having my mom and pops in my life. Even though everything we don't agree about, but if I didn't have them, it'd be difficult. Because they let me act out, but they brought me back in before it was too late. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't have them to will me back in and remind me how I was raised, I think I'd be even more lost. I was lost. I graduated, but that didn't feel right. Like everything, I had prom, graduation, all that in that next year or two, and none of it felt right because he wasn't there. Then what really helped me is shipped me off to college, and I went to Massachusetts. So it made me find myself a little bit more other than basketball, and then what really helped me is my dad bringing me with the New Haven Heat, had me start coaching. So I didn't have the love to play no more, but I found my other love, and it's to give back to the youth. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what they've been through. You feel me? I know how people judge and don't know the story and what is needed. You know what I'm saying? We just need a little bit of love, a little bit more extra. When I don't do something right, don't just quit on me. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it started to help me. I'm going to be honest, New Haven Heat saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Not because the basketball player just helping me get a purpose on what I wanted to do. Like I didn't feel like I have no purpose. Now I know what I want to do, and that's just give back to the community and help the youth out. Like that's all I do with my whole life. Like, I'm 26 right now, and not too many people do what I do, but I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Cool seeing how many people I helped go to college that didn't have an opportunity before. and leaving all the politics out of it, and my main thing, I want my nephew to see, my nephew, the one who really saved me, because all in my head, even if I reacted to what happened to my brother, my nephew wouldn't have me. And that's what was the big thing on me. Like, my nephew need me. That's all I cared about, even at 16. I don't know if y'all went to my brother's funeral. That's the only thing I said, is that I'm gonna take care of my nephew no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And that helped me change my life, because I stopped thinking about me and started thinking about somebody else. And it helped me, you know what I'm saying, mold me to what I am today. Even today, it's still hard for me though. Like thinking about 10 years since he's been gone, but my brother supposed to be turning 35 August 15th. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't seen my brother 10 years. He missed 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have kids, if I have a wedding, my only brother is not around. I don't have no other brothers. And, and it's still hard for me. That's why I love talking to you and Ari, because y'all a little bit more older than me. I help, I'm saying, get my mind right a little bit more, because I couldn't talk to nobody about it. Not too many people went through what I went through. So even having those conversations, it's like, all right, they don't really know how I feel. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I'm glad that bigger than this, like the community good, but y'all helping me out with what we doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning so much from y'all and how to deal with certain things that I didn't know how to deal with before. And I appreciate y'all too for that, for sure.
Definitely. All right, Ari. Let's talk about you, man, and how this thing impacted you and your family member, because I know you guys have a large family.
Too many.
Listen, trust me, man. It's all good, but it hurts nonetheless.
Well, it was like my family into the streets, so it's different. So the approach we took, is obvious that we took a community route, but that wasn't like the conversations. So being that it's so many of us and we all look exactly alike, it was like risky, just mistaken identity. You know what I mean? Or go to war with the whole New Haven and just tear everything down. That was that's how I felt, honestly. I just seen red, bro. So, but in the mix of that, it was like, let's use this energy for something else. Maybe this is our turning point. Maybe this is our way out the streets. See what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it was the dudes we grew up with, which made it worse. So I don't really know any form of coping with it or dealing with it, but besides continuing the work. So I can't speak for everyone else, because I guess when I look back, I still can feel the same shit, same stuff. Sorry. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, just dealing with it was just like, I'm glad I have my kids, glad I have my mother, I'm glad I have my boys, my brothers. I'm thankful for my boys, thankful for them. So like, they kind of help cope with the whole process better, because my friends know me. They just know me so well. You see what I'm saying? They was just around so well. They was around for all the work we was putting in before it happened. So when it happened, it was like, all right, we can't stop. All right, you leading the charge, bro. So now you got to go harder. It never was about any publicity or any of that, because I'm really like an antisocial person. It's just my friends around me are so live that, you see what I'm saying? It seemed like I'm in a mix, but I'm really not. I really not. These are the only friends I got. I don't even got new friends. Like, still got the same friends from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 16 years ago, freshman year type, or when I was a kid. So like, being around them, they kind of helped me get through it better. They helped me deal with it better. They encouraged me the same way we did on the court. It was nothing different. They kind of made sure I was good. But in the process, we continue to work. We never stop to work. We continue to grow. We continue to reach out to people and build young people. We started designing programs, and we built summer camps, and so built after school programs. So a lot came off it. Because before that we was doing all the other dumb stuff that could get us locked up or dead or in jail, or you see what I'm saying, or away from our families, no matter what. So just turn over a new leaf and just keep pushing was like the thing. I always post my brother. Right. So like I say, it's never like I can't forget. It took years even to sleep after that stuff. Like I couldn't sleep. I used to wake up like sweats and like it just couldn't happen because every call you think is somebody about to pass. That was that year. It's just every morning you getting a call like, yo, such and such died. Like, man, I might just turn my phone off. I just rather you see what I'm saying? Because it was like, and it became like a traumatizing thing. So like I said, I don't ever feel like I've coped with it properly ever, because it was work right after. So it was like being strong for everybody else and just getting to work. You get what I'm saying? It never was a proper grieving time. And I think that's like the most important thing with dealing with death. I think like people should really grieve properly. You know what I'm saying? Get it out, cry, be mad, like stop. Don't gotta be strong or nothing. Like deal with it the way it come versus trying to like, be tough for it. Nah. It don't work like that. Put it on the back burner.
Listen, it's never going to work like that, right?
10 years later, look at us. That's how I look at it. Just keep putting the footwork in, and at some point, it's going to do what it's supposed to do naturally.
Right. It's the investment. It's the long-term investment that you decide to make, right? That we all, I think, decided to make, even if we made it unconsciously. Right, because we're talking about years and years and years of youth development, as long as we're still alive, all of us, myself included. When Sean died, for a couple of years, I didn't really have anybody to talk to. Like depression it was at a high level. I would just be asleep in the daytime if I could, or if not, I'm just anywhere, Dunkin' Donuts all day online, just trying to have something to do to keep myself from doing something wrong. I couldn't talk to none of my friends. Nothing. No, I didn't have anybody that understood that. Right? We come from the streets, and we lost a few friends along the way. So it wasn't like we were unfamiliar to the whole situation. But after getting away from all of that stuff, and growing up, having children now, and then losing a child to the streets. That was just, for me, it was a little different. It was really a little different. I did everything in my power to make sure my son wasn't going to be no hustling kid, stuff like that. I would not keep him in the house still, because that's inhumane in my mind. Children need to communicate with other children. They need to be outside. They need to explore their community, get familiar with their communities and things like that. And Sean was a very outgoing individual, as everybody has spoken about. He pretty much was one of those special kids that could go anywhere in the city, right? He had cousins and people everywhere. So when you got people talking about the Tray, and they're only really going to the Tray and can't go to the Ville, my son didn't have those restrictions. My son could go everywhere. He'd be in New Hallville one day hanging out with a group of kids, and then be in, Kensington Street hanging out with another group of kids, could go over to the ghetto and hang out with his cousins and another group of kids, and et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So I didn't really see or understand the level of impact and influence that he had over his peers until his murder, right? Until I entered into that funeral service, and seeing that room so overpacked and so many people outside. It was just like it was an amazing thing for me. And that was another pivotal point in my world, which made me realize even if I want to do something to somebody, that's not the way. Right. I look at a lot of this stuff as divine intervention. Honestly. You know what I mean? For all the things that I've done in the streets, I didn't never put in enough work to make sure that my son was going to be safe. that youth were going to be safe up underneath us, right? And it's an unfortunate thing to say as a dad. So, you know, I've committed myself to spending pretty much the better half of my life now doing this work. You know what I mean? Promoting stop the violence, coming up with creative ways to encourage economic growth and real community development in the Black community. You know what I mean? Getting our corner stores back and all of those things. And this is why I haven't done much in honor of my son, because for me, my son's name means something. He comes from a long line of meaningful people, right? It's not just about basketball or a cookout for me. You know, I needed to get to a point where I had energy to really run a movement now. And this symbol behind me, and the gentleman that I met that introduced me back into chess, is a big part of, you know, my change. He's now my mentor. He's the co-founder of he is actually the founder of the Academy, Edward Trimble, and I'm the co-founder, right? But the things that he's done for me and what chess has done for me and what chess is doing for these youth in the areas of development for the mind, all of these things combined now can only bring something special to the community, right? You guys are the future, and you guys are helping create the future. You guys have the connections to so many youth. I have connections to you guys, and we still all have some connections to the youth, but this is the process and the pieces that have been missing from our community, and it's called succession planning and sustainable efforts, right? Collaborated efforts. So I don't think that we're ever gonna unlink this chain moving forward, and I would hope that each and every one of you guys think the same. And it only plan on increasing our efforts to grow as we continue forward. We got about another 10 minutes on this line. Anybody got any other burning desires they want to get off their chest? Anything you want to say in far as advertising what we're doing here? Feel free.
I have one more thing, not with the advertisement, but just like what we're talking about with the process and stuff. One of the bigger things that I had to realize, I couldn't expect, like I was young, so I was expecting like my brother friends and my cousins to look out for my nephew. You feel me? To help guide me, and they wasn't there. And I don't, like, now that I'm older, I don't blame them. You get what I'm saying? Like that was one of the steps that I had to take. Like not too many people have a relationship with my nephew. Like, you know what I'm saying? My brother had all the friends in the world, one of the most, you know what I'm saying, big names in Connecticut. And it just Jai and the fam right now. You feel me? And like I said, I had to realize everybody else still got their own life and struggles. You feel me? And that's what was one of the things that was holding me back to get before I got to this point. You get what I'm saying? That jump was holding me back because I had too much hate in my heart to everybody around. You know, like I had.
One thing I've learned about this thing is everyone's grieving, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone's grieving.
Yep. And that's the main thing I had to learn too, like, because they going, it hitting them a whole different way, you know, like I can't tell that, like, if they see my nephew, they might just think about my brother the whole time, you know, and that's what me maturing really made me realize, because at 16 and 17, I hated everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be honest, then it got even bigger that I'm from Hamden. So I hated New Haven in general now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like my brother put New Haven on the map. Like, even if you watch one of his interviews that night, he was putting New Haven on. And it just felt like New Haven didn't take care of him. You feel me? So that I had that, like, I was anti-New Haven for a while. You know, like, and I grew up in New Haven. You feel me? Like, I was on both. Like, I got family in New Haven and Hampton. But it was just, it had so much hate on me. I had so much hate in my heart that I had to get through that first before I could help anybody else. And like I said, I was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was going through this as a young man, and I shut down. Like, you know what I'm saying? I stopped talking to people, and it was crazy.
Age don't got no number to it, fam. Trust me. I was old, yeah. Right? Straight from the streets, heavy. Probably could have turned this whole city upside down. hated everybody here for a second, right? Dog. It just is what it is when you're going through hurt and pain, right? I'm glad that we've all been fortunate enough to kind of see through some of that madness, stay to, the principles of things that have been instilled in us at young ages, because none of us grew up in hate. I mean, none of us grew up in a space where hate was condoned. And we all grew up in some form of love, right? And you can become a very hateful person after experiencing something like this, right? So again, I commend each and every one of you gentlemen, including myself. Anything from you, Ari?
Keep pushing the message. I'm a proactive person, so like I said, my brother, I felt like he was that dude. Hill House, Providence, Louisiana Tech, known a whole bunch of NBA stars. So, he's just unfortunate he got pulled back into the streets. It's not like it's the first basketball story like that, or the first, So I'm just like, let's just prevent more lives at this point. Dealing with the trauma, dealing with it. Yeah, we're gonna get through it, but let's get through it with keeping more kids off the street, or something to that extent. You feel me? And August 7th, man, just be there Saturday, please. Just share, post your business, entrepreneur, vendor, organization, church, icy man. I don't care if you can't sell bogeys out there. But listen, let me stop.
So trust it, man. Come through. It's 11:48. We're gonna definitely be wrapping up. So I'm gonna give you the lineup for the week. This Thursday, 7 p.m., Terminal 110, Deborah Bond live. We're having a fundraising event for our Stop the Violence event on Saturday. Saturday is the basketball tournament, the Stop the Violence, Start the Love basketball tournament. Sunday at the Lighthouse, as always, is Sean's Cookout. Please make sure you spread the message. Please make sure you share with your friends. Everybody get there, man. The message is common, it's simple, it's the same. Put the guns down, and let's figure the rest out, man. We can do this together, man. We can definitely do it together, fam. There's more than enough opportunities at our disposal now. We just have to sit, give ourselves a chance, man. All right?
All right.
So again, we appreciate Tom Ficklin and him allowing us to take center stage today, to make sure that we allow the community to understand exactly who we are, why we did this year, why this 10-year anniversary is so important, not just to us, but to the entire community, and how our efforts will continue on. I look forward to seeing you guys the rest of the week. We got a lot of planning, a lot of work left to be done. So we'll be speaking soon.
All right, brother.
This is Harry Droz, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven.
Another rhyme, another rhythm for y'all to listen. I'm never quitting on my mission. I'ma roll with what I'm giving. Got some ambition, this new edition, filling positions. Looking at the void in myself and feeling what's missing. Better watch the way you going. Better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain. Keep on working, open curtains. Haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up. Fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Cause this is my road. Let's camera action, I'm ready to go. I'm never gonna give up. Fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah.